and today we're going to be speaking on forgiveness.
Imagine if I listen what a hater gotta say. I never give a broke bitch any time of day. You ugly when you jealous, bitch. Look at that face. I'm hot right now when you not, okay? Oh, you big.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna start. Okay, I'm gonna start with my experience with forgiveness. I think that forgiveness is a hard thing to do for a lot of us. Everybody's different. I respect everyone's input. I respect everyone's thoughts on forgiveness, but this is my experience on it. So how do you guys feel forgiving someone when you never received an apology? I never received an apology, and I had to forgive this person. This person was in my life for 2 decades. And I had to forgive that person without receiving an apology. That is so hard, guys. Really, really hard. Hello, guys. Welcome in. Letting go of resentment, letting go of, being angry all the time. That is very, very hard. Welcome in, guys. Thank you for joining us. Knowing what it meant to me and the real truth behind it as to why it mattered to forgive that person, because I wanted the inner peace. It wasn't about that person. It was about me getting the inner peace, being okay with myself. And, I was talking to someone today and she brought up a good point. She said, if you don't forgive that person, you're going to make yourself sick. And that is so true. We're going to get ourselves sick for what reason? While that other person is living their best life, right? So I had to, regroup myself, get my shit in order pretty much, and forgive that person. Now, I want to say I did receive an apology a year later, but it was okay then because I already have forgiven. I already have moved on with my life. So with that said, I wanted to do it for myself, not for that person. Because guys, if we're going to be waiting here, for that person to say, I'm sorry, you're probably going to be waiting a long time. And so what is that going to do to your health? What is that going to do to you, to your growing? Because we grow every day. We evolve every day. So definitely, I wanted to develop a fact of forgiving. I wanted to develop that. And also I wanted to teach my daughter that nobody's perfect. We can forgive. I'm not saying that we're going to forget. We're never going to forget, right? Because this is something that happened in our lives. So we're never going to forget. That's always going to be there 20 years from now, 10 years from now. I'm always going to live with what happened to me for the rest of my life. But the point is that I forgave that person so I can move on peacefully.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
That's
Forgive
definitely
and move on with
true.
life.
That's definitely true.
Yes, 100%. And really you have to tell yourself, what is the true meaning of suffering? Like, what is the true meaning of suffering? We suffer every day, guys. Everyone has a story. Nobody is perfect. Nobody in here can tell me, I never went through anything. I never had to forgive it. Everyone has a story.
Yes.
Yes. So at one point in your life, and if you haven't gone through it because you're young or whatever the case may be, you will go through it. Trust and believe you will go through it. So the best thing is that, I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to forget what they did. That's fine. I don't think nobody ever is going to forget.
Yes.
But you definitely could live with peace within yourself, and show others that forgiveness is a sign of strength.
Right.
At least to me it is. It's a sign of strength. You grow within yourself, and you find peace within yourself.
Right. Right.
Welcome in.
So,
Welcome in.
that's a good point, and I like the fact that you said that we all do forgiveness in different ways. We all forgive, and I mean, people think. I mean, to me, we all have our own opinions, but my opinion is that I don't forgive people. I forgive myself first. You know what I mean? Because I'm an observer. and I observe people on their actions, ways, and their personality, the way they are. Now, if I choose to let you in my life, knowing that you are a shitty person, I don't forgive you for being shitty, because you're gonna stay shitty the rest of your life. I forgive myself for letting you in my circle and in my area to able you to treat me the way you did. So my forgiveness is a little bit different. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting an apology, because if you can't be true and honest and loyal to me, what makes you think your apology is going to be loyal to me?
Right.
So I don't expect apology from anybody. Like I said, I forgive myself first before I forgive anybody else, because your actions speak who you are. I'm really big on loyalty, and I'm really big on, having a big heart. And once you ruin that for me, I don't forgive you for doing it. I forgive myself for letting you get the chance to do that. So I mean, like, we all have different opinions on loyalty. I've gotten done, like, we talked about yesterday, like I had a friend over 20 years that, and I don't, and like I said, I can't change who the shitty person she was or he was. I've had a lot of people did me wrong because of the kind person and heart that I carry on my sleeve with me at all times. But like I
Yeah.
said, I don't carry that like bitterness towards myself, because for one, I already know how that person is a shitty person. You know what I mean? And I allowed you to be in my life to, and do that to myself. And that's with relationships, friendships, family, anything. You know what I mean? That's with everybody. And that's not just a friend or a relationship. It's family too. I've, letting family
Yeah.
the same way. You know what I mean? I allow you, just because you're my family, to treat me a certain way, then, you know what I mean? Then it's my fault, to let
Right.
you, and I have to forgive myself before I forgive anybody else, because like I said, I'm going to protect my energy. I'm going to protect who I am and me at all given time. If that person wasn't loyal enough and a friend enough or caring enough to care about my feelings and how they treated me, then you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Then you can, then you have no part of my life. And that's the
And
thing that we go
how
through in
many,
life.
how do you think with family? Like family is a little overrated to me, right? Because family is always supposed to be there. There's supposed to be the loyal ones. But that's not always the
It's
case.
not always the
How do you
case. And like
forgive a family member that's always going to be there?
You
How do
know,
you do
I,
that?
I have family, that friends that are more to me than family, and I have family that is family. But we can't change who we are as a person. You know what I mean? There's some
Right.
of us that are gonna be shitty people, regardless if they're family or not. That's just who they are,
Yeah.
and we can't change them, no matter how much we forgive them, how much, but how much they say sorry. See, I don't give sorries out like a lottery ticket. You know what I mean?
Right.
Regardless who you are. And I think that's why, my family circle is small. And it's just because your family will be the first one to hurt you, because of the fact that they feel like they deserve that forgiveness, because we're
Yeah.
blood. And no, you can't do that. Family or whoever,
No.
you can't let them, do that. And there's no forgiveness, regardless if you're family or not. And like I say, I forgive myself first, and then after that, whatever comes after, it's goodbye. I cut people off. I don't
Yeah.
give them a chance to allow themselves to make that second mistake. You made it the
Right.
first time, and and it could be anything. It could be a friendship, a friendship that we started. And
Mhm.
if I knew you were a shitty person to someone else, or saw the way you treated other people, what makes you think you weren't going to eventually do that to me? You know,
Yeah,
so
definitely. Definitely.
so that's where I say it comes down to, I forgive myself for letting you be a part of my life if I let you in, and that's something you're going to have to deal with, not me, because I'm going to move on and I'm going to be happy, because now I don't have toxic,
You
I don't
have
have
to.
drama, I don't have
Yeah.
nothing in my life. You're going to go move on to someone else and give that to somebody else, because I'm not going to give you the energy and time. So, yeah, that's
Yeah.
just my
'Cause
whole
how does
point.
it feel? How does it feel like you not forgiving that person and that person living their best life? I
See,
mean,
they're
honestly,
gonna
that's what
live their best life
happens.
regardless if you say I forgive you or not. And like I said,
Yeah.
their apology to me, the reason why I say I don't accept apology, because if you couldn't be honest and loyal to me in the beginning, what makes you think your apology is honest? It's just a
Mhm.
way of you forgiving themselves for being a shitty person. That's
Right.
just my point of view. Everybody sees it different. You know what I mean? This is like
Right.
just my point of view on the
Mhm.
subject. And like I said, sometimes people need that forgiveness so they can move on. And and like I said, I don't give second chances for you to be a shitty person to me. So your apology to me, if you did it, if you meant it, you did it because you meant it. You know what I mean? If you hurt me in some kind of way, you meant to do that. You know, there's
Now,
no apology for it.
would you see that person again and just be cool with them, or
If I ran into that person again, honestly, I wouldn't have no animosity. I don't have no hate. I don't have nothing towards them. You know what I mean? But there's no conversation that I would sit down and have with you, because to me, that, like, I go back to honesty and loyalty. You know what I mean? If you wasn't honest and loyal to me at the beginning, what makes you think everything that you tell me is going to be an honest conversation? You know what I mean? Like,
right?
especially after a 20-year friendship. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can
That's a long
say
time.
that's nothing you
That
can
is a
say
long
that to
time.
me to prove that you're a changed person. I respect people's boundaries. You know what I mean? And I would have never
Right.
went across those boundaries because my friendship meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? So once you pass those boundaries, our friendship meant nothing. So your sorry and apology is not going to
Yes,
mean anything. So that's just my
that
point of
is a long
view.
time.
And it doesn't
Yes,
stay
20
with
years
me.
is a long time,
I
guys.
don't
A long
have
time.
a burden heart about it. I don't have animosity against it. I
Right.
can't say that, hey, if I ran into her, I'm gonna be like, ugh, I can't stand. No. If she
Yeah,
says,
yeah.
hi, how are you doing? You know what I mean? Keep it pushing. That's all the conversation I'm having with you. But how's things going in my life? How are the kids? How's the family? No, none of that.
Yes.
None of that. You know
Yeah,
what I
we
mean?
do forgive. I'm looking at the chat too as I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
We do forgive ourselves. I don't what I said it was my experience. I don't want to put nobody out there because I'm not about exposing
Yeah,
anyone,
me neither.
especially people that I have to interact with, in the future. But nevertheless, I did forgive that person, and we're not in a good space or a great space whatsoever, but I do have to deal with that person, in fact, to other things. So, but I did forgive that person. So I'm okay with myself. I live okay with myself. I'm happy. I moved on. And, at one point I was like a whole 2 years without forgiving that person. So it was hard. My life was a hot mess. When I tell you I only went to work and came back home, that was my life. And at one point I sat down, I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm getting myself sick for no reason while that person is living their best life. What's the purpose of that? And
Yeah.
also I had to teach my daughter that people are going to make mistakes. There's some people that you forgive and you just move on. You never have to speak to that person again, ever. But
Yeah.
there's some people that you are going to have to come to terms with. You're going to have to see that person. So,
Like I said, it's just the strength that became inside of me of dealing with things and in general. Growing up and being an adult about things and learning that, hey, I protect my energy at all times now. You know what I mean?
yes,
Regardless
of
of who you
course,
are. And I'm not
absolutely.
gonna, I'm always a good going outgoing person. I have a good
Yeah,
energy. I have a good personality, but when I'm not going to allow someone to take that from me just because they're they're
no,
they're living they're the way they are. You know what I mean? Like, we
never
can't
again.
change who people are. All we can do is change the situation and distance ourselves from those person. And it doesn't mean that you have to hate them. It's just that they're not going in the same direction as you. We all,
Right.
evaluate and ourselves and and we're, there's things that we want to, focus on. And if they're not in that same thing of focusing on with you or supporting you or cheering you on, or only want to be there when they need you for something, then that's, then I learned to cut people off.
Right.
And that's been since I was younger. So,
Yeah.
and it's the strength in me that I've had to deal with to build that up to say, hey, I'm cutting you off, and that's it. And live my best life. You
Pretty
know what I mean?
much.
Like, I can't,
Pretty
if I
much.
can let
That's
people
that's
do
how
that
it
to
is,
me, I
though.
think, if I think back, if I was to let people do that to me,
Self care is good.
it would be bad. And I think it comes down from something deeper inside, the way I feel, because I'm like, if I let the most closest person, and I mean, I'm going to say it, it's your podcast and I want to be honest. If I can let my mom do me wrong, then ain't nobody in this world that's going to hurt me and keep that joy from me.
Right, right.
So,
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, sometimes the other day I was on live and we were talking about the road to forgiveness, and people kept bringing up family. You know, I don't like to talk too much on family because to me, family is overrated. And people have asked me, you know, you talk a lot about talking to your best friend, but you never speak about talking to your family members like cousins, uncles, aunts. And that's because I don't. It's nothing that I have against them or that I don't love them, but it's just I'm very reserved and I keep my energy very, very clear. You know,
Sacred.
I need
Sacred.
to be focused at all times. So
No, yeah,
I'm trying
that's
to read the
true.
chat as well.
I can, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm blind today. But no, I really, like you said, I have family members I'm close to too as well. But like I said, we all have our lives, and I'm not upset because they don't reach out to me every day. I know they love me and they know that I'm good. If they see me online or whatever, or see me
Right.
on any kind of social media, they know I'm fine. Sometimes I'm
Hmm.
busy in my life, but it doesn't give that a reason to say, hey, you don't love me. I know they do. It's just the word
Right.
is too busy. But when you get some of the family
Yes.
members that I've had that, actually done me wrong, same thing. I cut them off. I had a family member that came, I let them stay in my house and they stole my checkbook and was writing checks to themselves and stole money out of my bank account. And this is,
Wow.
blood. You know what I mean? So, like I said, cut them off, and that's been over 20 years. Doesn't
Yeah.
bother me. Got my money back. She doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the person I am is the person that they lost. And they're the
Yeah.
ones with regrets, because I know for a fact that I hear it all the time, like, I wish I could talk to her, but there's no wishing anymore.
I don't
I'm
give my
very
energy to
happy.
everyone. That's the problem. I do not give my energy to everyone. And there's very few people that have access to me, if that makes sense. I might
Yeah,
speak a lot here to a lot of people, but there's very few that really have access to my real life. So, you know, with that said, there's a few of you on here that I talk to on a personal level, including Chinny. But you know, my personal life, I keep it very reserved. And because a lot of people do a mockery out of it. It's really sad in the world we
yeah,
live today. We should be here to support one another, you know, give advice to one another and grow from one another.
exactly. And even with my TikTok family, I keep them really close as well, and
Yeah.
I don't, and it's like I said, I'm an observer, so I sit back and I watch, and the
Yeah,
ones that I end
definitely.
up being close to, like you and a couple other people, I'm really, really there's a handful that I'm really, really close and talk to on a daily basis. And you know what I mean? And
Yes.
I love the fact that they come in and support me. I support them back, and I appreciate them. They're here now, and I appreciate them too as well. And that's the way it should be.
Mhm.
But like I said, then you'll end up with some people that are just out for whatever they can get for you, and they're shitty, and that's it. You know what I mean? But you
Right.
can't
Like
choose who people are.
there's good people on here. Like on TikTok, you meet a lot of very good people. I mean, but I mean like in my personal real life, like basically the only ones on here that really have access is Tinker and you. Other than that, you know, everybody I talk to, really nice. I appreciate your friendship. And it's just a process of getting to know each other, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
And
So yeah, that's just like I said, we all have a different way of looking at things. And like I said, I'm an observer. I see, see how people run and interact with other people, how they interact with me. If I see it's not genuine, I feel it's just like some BS bullshit because you're a shitty person. Hey, I back up. And I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you for who you are, because that's just who
right.
you are. It's up to you to change who
Yeah.
you are. Sorry, I can't do
That
that.
You are right. There's also a lot of toxic people on TikTok, but there's a lot of toxic people everywhere around us. At our jobs, everywhere we go, everywhere you're gonna meet those toxic people. But it's up to you to give them your energy. I don't give my energy to everyone, and I'm very unbothered about what people say or they say about me or whatever they say behind. I'm very unbothered by it, and it took me a long time to get there. Trust me, I've not always been like that. It took me a
Mhm.
long time to get there. So I don't want to, you know, mess that up for nothing.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's how I was too. I would always be bothered about what people say. Now I'm like, say it to me and get it over with. You know what I mean? Tell me how you feel.
right,
You don't
right.
like me, that's fine. You know what I mean? You don't want to talk to me, that's fine. It's not gonna bother me. It's not gonna stop the clock from going. It's not gonna stop me from being who I am. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely.
That's who you are,
Absolutely.
and the only one that, out of, like I said yesterday, like the only one that's going to mess up a friendship is going to be you. If I give you my loyalty, my love, my friendship, my whatever, that's 100. And the only one that's going to mess that up is you. So, like I said, the only thing I could do at the end of the day in forgiveness is forgive myself for letting you be a part of that. You know what I mean?
And sometimes the people that, the things that you hear, when I sit down and speak to other people about them forgiving other people, you sit down and analyze, yourself, and you're like, oh my God, my stuff wasn't really that big compared to this other person. You know what I mean? So you always have to feel blessed that you have good people around you.
Yeah, exactly. Being here with us today. We appreciate all you guys. You guys are helping us grow within this thing that we're doing for Latina and promoting her book, her YouTube channel. You guys, please go subscribe to Latina Chick 23 on YouTube and help support her YouTube channel. We would really appreciate it. If you guys want to read her book, it's on Amazon. You guys can go ahead and purchase that on Amazon, and it's Through My Brother's Eyes on Amazon. So please, guys, go support. If you want, get her book. It's not very long, but she did it with everything she had about her brother.
So I could bring one person up at a time because we can't be talking over one another.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna like tell a little bit of a story, right? And
Okay.
I ain't gonna mention names and shit, obviously, right?
Yeah,
But
we're not mentioning names.
yeah. So I had a dude that I met on another app, right? And we got really tight, like so tight that we was like brothers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we linked up in real life and all that. Like that was my brother. Like I held him down, like real life and like on the app or whatever, right? And this is the first time I'm ever talking about this shit. Anyway, it's my guy, like, you know what I mean? And we had made an agreement that we would never argue like over like popularity because we was both popping. Like I'm not even gonna front, like, we was both popping like on that other app or whatever. Like we was real popular. So it became like a competition, you know what I mean, between both of us. And it was all fun and games, and all of that. But I don't know, like that shit got boring after like a year worth of that, like,
Mm-hmm.
And so we all know what a narcissist is, right?
Yes.
So he's a narcissist, right? But at
Okay.
this time, I didn't. Now, narcissist is not only in relationships, like, a
Mm-hmm.
narcissistic person is a narcissistic person. They try to
Exactly.
manipulate every situation. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship, a friendship, or whatever, right?
Right.
So with narcissism comes lying, guilt
Yep.
tripping,
Yep.
and narcissists become really good at what they do, correct?
Yep.
Right? They become really good at whatever a narcissist chooses to put their energy into, they become really good at it.
Yeah.
So he became really good at manipulating females. See, I have a lot. I had past tense, a lot of female homegirls, like a lot. You know what I mean? I didn't have to. He was like my one guy friend, and he was like my brother. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I had a lot of homegirls, right? And
Okay.
they were my homegirls because they fucked with me because like my vibe, my energy, like I don't BS, like I don't bullshit. I don't have time for that. Like honesty is key. I firmly believe that, right? Like I
Right.
firmly believe if you're honest with everybody you meet,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't have to worry about too much. Either I look at it
Exactly.
like this, like either they gonna fuck with you or they not. It's just that
Right.
simple.
Right.
I don't have time to like present myself or introduce myself to you or anybody as one way when I'm really another way. That's too much energy and I'm gonna
Right.
forget what I said and all that, right?
Right.
So that's my way of living. His way of living is he has dual personalities. You know what I mean? He created
Okay.
this other personality. Now, mind you, everybody knows this about him, but he's just so, meaning females, but he's just so good at doing it that even though they know he's a piece of shit, like they still fall for like the 1 hour phone call that they lovey dovey and he's telling them whatever he telling them, right? Like, and he got everybody to flip on me. Like, and this shit is wild. Like, this shit is just wild. But he got
Can I ask you a
everybody to,
question?
yeah.
So,
Know what?
I mean, if you knew who he was at the beginning, did you expect him not to do that to you? Like, even though you were
I
boys?
did. I
Okay,
did
okay,
expect him not to do it to me because of the relationship that I thought we had.
okay.
You know, like we've confided in each other. Like he's told me how much of a piece of shit he is. He's told me the douchebag shit that he's done. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And it's like we were a team. Like it was
Hmm.
like Batman and Batman. There was no Robin. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but in his head, it was always Batman and Robin. Like, of course, I would be the Boy Wonder and he would be Batman. Like, you know how that go. You know what I mean? But in my head, we was always equals. Nobody was better than nobody. But the narcissistic mentality in his head is, you know, he'll say the right shit to me, make me feel the way. That's where the manipulation comes in to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't know because I wasn't like into like wasn't like hip to narcissism. I didn't understand all that kind of shit. To me, there was just two kind of people. It's just you're either real or you're fake. Like that's it. You know?
Hmm.
And he always portrayed like to be so real, like you know what I mean. And like I would defend him. Like people would talk, like people that knew him would talk they shit about him, whether it was a female or a dude. Like, and I would always jump out the window. Remember yesterday I was telling y'all like I was always the first one to jump out the window for people. Remember I was saying that
Hmm.
shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's always been me, you know.
So, did
So
you guys fell off, and how did you forgive
yo,
him?
ho, what's good,
How
bro?
do you forgive them?
I'm getting to that right now. So
Okay.
he caused all this shit. He caused all this shit, right? Like everybody to flip and shit. And I mean, it is what it is. Like I know, like 70% of it was him. You know what I mean? 30% was scattered, shit. Right? And it's cool. Like now, it's cool. Like you know what I mean? Because I see that if you could allow one or two people to change your whole opinion of me, then you wasn't my friend. You
Right.
wasn't like at all because not one of them, you hear me? Not one of them came to me and asked me anything. They just stopped 2 days, like I said yesterday. In 2 days, everybody dropped off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And that should hurt, but whatever, right? So he doesn't know, obviously, that I forgave him, right?
Hmm.
Because we don't talk. Like he got my number, like pick up the phone, call me. Like obviously, you know what I mean, he know it's something, he know what he did. Like, you know what I mean? I don't have to sit there and tell you. You know what you did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Like it took me about a year and a half, you know what I mean? Like I forgave him like literally forgave him like maybe like a couple months ago. Like to
So, my
myself.
question to you is: if you was to run into him or see him, how do you feel?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Then
know
you
how I would
wouldn't
feel.
fully
I wouldn't
forgive.
be angry. Huh?
Then that means you wouldn't fully forgive that person if you don't know how you would feel the moment you've seen him again. Forgiving is knowing that if you was to run into them and see them, those anger, animosities, and
I
feelings
just
don't appear anymore. You can be like,
But I
okay,
just
I'm
said
not
that. I
even good.
just said I won't be
Okay.
angry. I know I won't be angry, but I would probably still feel hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Because I haven't seen him since. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would probably still be hurt, but I know how to handle it now because I forgave him, like literally, like, you know what I mean? Like I did it for me. So I did it for exactly that fact because I'm eventually going to run into him. I'm eventually going to see him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I said, he's a narcissist. He's going to act like nothing happened. He's going to act like I did something. You know what I'm saying? Like I know this already. I know how he moves. You gotta understand. We were friends for years. Like I know how he moves. I know how he think. You know what I'm saying? So I had to forgive so that I won't be angry. Like you know what I mean? I did it for me. For I could be okay. Not for him. Fuck him. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't care. Like, but I would probably be hurt just if I see him based off the fact that it's our first face to face after it happened. Like you know what I mean? So I guess, nah, I don't guess. I know, like, it's I'm gonna end up just walking away, probably, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? I'll let him talk whatever he gotta talk, because he's good at making, like I said, he's good at what he do, but I know this already. I'm well aware. You know what I mean? So, I'll probably have that one conversation with him. I'm not gonna, and I know this, I'm not gonna entertain it to the point where he's gonna believe that I'm believing his shit, but I'm not. Like, I know that already, and that'll
Yeah.
be the last time I speak to him. So it's basically, that's closure. That'll be closure for me whenever that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I forgave him like 100%. Like, you know what I mean? Even when I see him, because like I said, I will see him. I'm not gonna tell him that I forgive him. You know what I mean? I just do it. Like I said,
Right.
I did it for me.
Right.
It just is
So
what
I
it
want to
is.
read
Like,
the comments as well. And I want to give a
and that
chance
hurt.
to DJ Craig. I want to give a chance to DJ Craig to speak as well. Forgiveness can be from a minimal situation to the other end of the scale. Yes, it can, 100%. That's so sad that you couldn't come up and talk, because I was really looking forward for your story to be heard. But thank you, him, for sharing that with us. I really
No problem.
appreciate it.
No
And
problem.
everybody can learn from each other. I'm gonna ask if you do come up, if you can, to put the camera on. Um, if you can't, that's fine. But if you can put the camera on so I could put you on the big screen, that'll be great.
I'm noodles. So
All right,
So
I'm gonna let DJ Craig sometime so he can say his stuff
yeah,
and
do
put
your
him,
thing.
and then I'm gonna have to drop him and then continue because we're in a lack of time. There we go.
Hey, how you doing? I want to bring up like what I experienced in my lifetime, with forgiveness. And the first thing, forgiveness has to start within the household. I was raised up in a single family home with one mother raising three kids, and I resented my mother and my father. And like when you start off young and you have resentment, later on in life, it does affect your relationships when you in a relationship or in a marriage.
yeah.
So the hardest thing about me going to forgive my mother was hard because nobody wants to go face their mama.
Yeah, I got you 100%.
And it was so hard, y'all. I was like damn nearly like biting my nails, but the thing that I said to her was, "Hey, mom, I'm sorry. I resented you all these years, and I realized you couldn't help yourself." And she broke down and cried. Same thing I said to my father. A lot of people don't realize that this does put a burden on you when you don't have that love to forgive. You got to have love to forgive, and it's hard to do depending on the scenario. I will admit that it's very hard, but you got to do it to keep the burden off yourself. You know, everybody's gonna have to experience this in life. I did, and it was tough. And now, like, I don't no longer have that anger in my heart no more.
See,
There's a
I
lot
think
of things that I
maybe
didn't know
it's
that
the
I know now,
apology.
because I used to have a lot of anger in me. And now I was able to overcome my anger. I mean, I just don't deal with people, with their bull crap, and I just walk away.
Right.
I develop a thick skin,
Right.
because it's not even worth it. So
Yeah.
it was really tough. And in relationships, no one's perfect. I was engaged years ago. Didn't work out well. I ended up being the guy that was hurt, but I went and forgave her because I realized she couldn't help herself. She had a rough childhood growing up, and there was some things I didn't know that should have been explained to me. But again, a lot of people are not open. They don't want to tell what was going on because they feel it's not right. But If you're gonna be engaged to somebody, you're gonna spend the rest of your life with someone. You should know these things so that way you know what to do to help her feel better. Or you know what I'm saying. That's the way it should be. Some people may disagree with me on that, but I went through some very hurtful times, and you know, getting out that relationship to getting into another relationship, and I should have just, took time to heal, and I didn't do that. But this time, this happened, and in this new relationship I was in, this was the best thing that ever happened to me in this relationship that I was in before, and you know, God rest her soul. And I was there for her through thick and thin, and it it put a toll on me. But it's been 3 years now. But
So I have a question
slowly,
for you.
God has healed me, and I thank Him because I got a better life now. It's it was tough. I went through some rough roads, but without having all that anger in my heart and
So I have a
hating,
question for
it's
you.
it felt
Was
so good. It
uh,
feels so good to do that part because Latina chick, you mentioned at the beginning that if you hold in all that anger and keep holding grudges, you will get sick. And you,
Yeah.
you hit the nail right on the head. This is the third time I heard that happen, and heard someone say that. I meant to say it's the third time. So it's rough. It's rough,
Yeah.
but I was able to go through it, and now I know next time. You know, but that's it.
Mhm.
so I have a question for
Well,
you.
thank
Was
you.
it the forgiveness of your parents, or was it the apology that made you feel better? Because a lot of it has to do with the apology and not only the forgiveness. Oh,
Is he still
uh,
on?
I don't know. I see him, but um, I
Can you
That
hear
was
mean,
a
me?
heartfelt
Hello?
story he shared.
hi,
Did
Okay.
you hear her
can
question?
you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I
Oh,
can
okay.
hear you.
Oh, okay. So my question was it actually the apology that you had to give to your parents, or was it the forgiveness that you had to do to your parents for in order this to take place for you to feel the way you feel after the fact that you had that conversation with your parents?
Yeah, it was the forgiveness part. Um, I started, doing my research on about a lot of things about forgiveness, and everything that it's in the Bible today. I mean, it's true about what we experience in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to overcome that, and I tell you, it's a huge burden off my back. A lot of things that I held in, and it wasn't good, and I feel better about myself. Like I said, you can forgive and not forgive, but then don't keep holding that burden on your shoulder. You don't hate them. You just think like what they did. But that's my story.
Well, thank you for sharing your
Sorry, thank
story
you.
with
Yeah,
all of us.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, appreciate y'all having me and stuff. And hey, was you guys able to hear me through the whole story?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
we heard
Yeah,
you.
we did.
I have my
Yep. We heard
my
the whole
iPad.
story.
Okay, you weren't able to hear
Yep.
the whole story.
No,
We
I did.
were.
Okay,
We
yeah.
all
Because
did.
okay, cool. All right, I was just
Yep.
making sure.
Thank you for sharing and
Thank you
thank you
for
for
sharing your
hopping on.
story.
Yeah, hey, real quick before I go,
Yeah,
I got another topic that could be brought up if it's up to you, Latina chick and Chini,
sure.
on what is love.
Definitely. Just message me with the topic.
Okay,
Because I had them all written down and then I can discuss them.
okay, all right, cool.
Okay?
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, guys, that was a heartfelt story on forgiveness. So thank you to DJ Craig for sharing his story. Thank you for him for sharing his story
Nice.
as well. Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
A little technical difficulties here. Guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting us. Obviously, we're just starting this out, so it's going to take a little bit for us to get a good group of people. But the ones that are here, we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys sharing the live, tapping the screen. And remember, you guys are going to be here from the beginning. So you guys are important to us.
Sorry, you guys. I don't have my
Yeah.
glasses on, so I can't see nothing in the chat. But I appreciate everybody that came in, that said hi, that said gifts. We appreciate you guys. Sorry, I'm just blind today.
Yeah, I know. I have my glasses, but I can't.
I cannot
Yes,
find
definitely on every topic I'm gonna suggest like whoever's gonna come up live is more efficient if you do put your camera on, because so like that the viewers can see who you are and and relate more to your story. I guess people relate more or grasp more when when they see who's speaking, instead of a little box with which you rarely can see the little box. And just remember, everyone that comes up, I do put this on my YouTube. So if you're not comfortable coming up and being on camera, it's totally respectable. So anything else you want to say on forgiving?
The
Before we
last thing I
end
just want to, in closing, say is this is a really hard topic, because it comes with a lot of emotions, and I'm glad everybody got to speak their story and say say what they experienced, because we all have experienced forgiveness in different ways. We all carry it different ways, and we all deal with it in different ways. We're all different people, and we have different ways of thinking and being. So with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you guys that did come up on here and give your honest opinion and the things you went through.
Yeah.
It is a difficult topic. It's a difficult topic because we all learn how to forgive in different ways, if that makes sense. But there's not a right or a wrong way. There's not, whatever makes you feel that you're heals within yourself to make you a better person, or something that's going to take a burden off you that's holding you down, whatever it is that's healthy and gives you back your power, your energy, because remember, you guys are all worth it out there, and don't let anybody take that from you. Like I said, we all forgive different ways, different in whatever makes us happy and whatever makes us feel better. At the end of the day, it's what matters.
Yes, definitely. And I'm just reading the chat. It opens up wounds. Sometimes it can be triggering. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And I think you and I both know that. No, absolutely. Don't let anybody take your energy away, and nobody take
keep that safe,
your life
protect
away.
it at all given times. Sometimes we slip, we're human, you know what I mean? We end up giving our energy to the wrong people, but we learn and we learn, and hopefully we don't let it happen again. But never protect your energy with all you guys got, because at the end of the day, it's laughter is what makes you, what cures the soul.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for joining. So I've been getting a lot of messages on topics. I appreciate all of your messages. I'm going to try to get to most of the topics you guys are sending me. But just a little, most of them are a little touchy subjects. So I have to talk about it a little bit more when I go live. So just keep sending, topics. We will be glad to run them through the podcast. So we will be back live, not next Sunday, but the following Sunday. So make sure you send your messages. Thank you to everyone who joined. I appreciate you guys.
During the week, you guys, we also go live together just to talk to people and relate on subjects that we're previously going to upcoming subjects. So you guys are more than welcome to join the chat as well. This is, to talk about any subjects that we talk about. You guys can inbox and talk about anything. We both do go live, so you guys can always come in and make comments, bring out your stories. I mean, sometimes it always helps to talk about it. We don't need to keep it, sometimes keeping it in is a burden. So just remember, you guys
And
are
I'm
more
trying
than
to be
welcome.
more consistent and going live is really not my thing, but I'm trying to be more consistent. Chinny knows. I'm like, okay, let me go live today.
I really gotta
But
text her and tell her.
yeah, definitely. She has to like really bug me, like go live, go live. So, you know, and I like I'm very happy that you guys all support me. Um, here, yeah, we're here to support one another. I love the support you guys are giving us. I always try to support back as much as I can to everyone that's live. Until next time, join us next time and follow me, follow my co-host.
I hope everyone has an amazing Sunday. I will be on live in a minute, so
Yes, thank you to DJ Craig again, to him. I'm sorry I don't know your real names, but thank you guys for participating and telling your story. It was very remarkable, very touching. Thank you once again for all your support. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, have a good day or good evening. Oh wait, can we just admire how beautiful Chinny looks today?
no.
She looks so beautiful.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.